What is good, everybody? It is your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. How are y'all feeling today? I am here today to tell you why the Chicago Bulls need to get Jim Boylen out of here and bring in David Fizdale right after this. Intro, please.
On one, on two, on three.
Stop it! Do not do him like that! Mercy! Did you not get the memo?
Before we get into the video, if you are a Chicago sports fan, if you enjoy watching Chicago sports, talking Chicago sports, debating Chicago sports, then you need to subscribe to this page right here because that is what we talk weekly Chicago sports. And we don't want you to miss a thing, so make sure that you hit that bell. Now, the Knicks Friday actually fired David Fizdale. The Knicks got off to a rough start, 4-18, a rougher start than the Bulls, believe it or not. 4-18, they really had a lot of issues, a lot of problems with personnel, a lot of problems with players, so a lot of things that they were struggling with. And so they figured the problem here is David Fizdale, let's let the coach go. Now, when I look at this move, it honestly just continues to show the ineptitude of the Knicks. I don't believe that David Fizdale is a bad coach. I believe that David Fizdale is a very good coach, is a coach that's very good with working with young players, but now here's the problem. Here's why this didn't work, in my opinion. From the beginning of the season, the coach was undermined. The coach was basically put under the thought process of win now or you're getting fired. That doesn't set a good precedent with the team. That doesn't set a good precedent with the players. Now everybody's walking on eggshells because you feel like, all right, next move, somebody might be gone. And so the season from the beginning, even though David Fizdale wasn't winning games, but you could see that he was trying to develop a rotation, develop talent, develop this young talent, very young talent that New York might have, and that it was going to take time for everything to come together and mesh. But of course, Steve Mills, the idiots that the New York Knicks are, cans him too early, in my opinion, doesn't let him actually get his legs under him, instantly undermines his authority, and gets him out of there. Now, here's where the Bulls need to look at David Fizdale with the old adage of one man's trash is another man's treasure. Not to call David Fizdale trash. By the way, let me know in the comments below if you believe that David Fizdale could be the right coach for the Chicago Bulls moving forward, or if you like Jim Boylen at head coach. I believe that Jim Boylen, as I've said before, is basically just running a high school style offense. He's playing the guys that he likes. He's playing the guys that are hot that night. He's playing the guys that he feels are giving more than the other guys, but he's not developing an actual rotation. When you look at David Fizdale, though he has had his struggles, has had success in this NBA, has had a good rotation in this NBA, has had a system in this NBA, right? We look back to his first head coaching job with the Memphis Grizzlies. They went 43-39, finishing 7th in the West, a Western Conference that was very dominant, very strong, and he found a way to get his team to fight through it. Now you might say, yeah, but he hasn't had a winning record since then. Well, that next Memphis team, guess what? You lose Mike Conley for a season, the focal point of your team, it's going to be tough to win. And then for the next 2 years, you came to the Knicks, a team that was already rebuilding, a team that was already struggling. Now, I think when you look at the Bulls have talent already here. David Fizdale doesn't have to identify the talent, doesn't have to come in and be like, well, let's see who can play, let's see what you can do. He already has seen enough. The Bulls have already put enough film on tape for this season to show that there's talent on this team. He knows coming in, Kobe White's a shooter, Kobe White's a hooper, Kobe White's a baller, Zach LaVine can put up buckets. Larry Markkinen should be doing something different. We don't know why he isn't. I personally think it's Jim Boylen, but we don't know why Larry Markkinen isn't doing more. Wendell Carter Jr., solid piece in the middle. So what I'm saying is the pieces have been identified. You know who are the guys that can play basketball on this team consistently, but for some reason it hasn't happened. And I think that reason is the coach and the current system that he's running. I think that bringing David Fizdale in with that head start already in place, he would be able to come in and probably not push us to the playoffs this season. I'm not saying that. I'm not going that far. But I think that with talent identified, we would be able to start seeing some wins on this Chicago Bulls team. I think you want to get him in here now, in my personal opinion, because you're able to get him in here and let him start running his system with guys and see the guys that maybe he doesn't want around for the season that you're trying to make a push for the playoffs. I know a lot of people are starting to look at the personnel on this team and say that the personnel is not performing. The players are not performing, but I don't believe that the players are being put in positions to have success, to have that top tier success, to have that playoff level success And I believe that that is the fault of Jim Boylen. And I think that this move here could bring the needed change to the Bulls that they might need. And listen, Gar Forman, if you're listening, it could be a signing that might save your job. I'm not saying, I'm just saying, hopefully not. I don't want to disrespect you like that. I'm going to take that part back. Nah, maybe not. I don't really care anymore. You've ruined my favorite basketball team, so I believe that bringing David Fizdale in, you've already got that defensive anchor. He's going to bring in guys who already have a system that is ready-made for success, that's made for players who honestly are already showing promise at certain positions. And by implementing that now, yes, maybe you don't get the draft pick that you're looking for next year. Maybe you don't get the high draft pick, but listen, you might already have the high draft pick on this team that you need, and it's not being utilized the right way. What does continuing down this path of mediocrity do for you? I'm sorry, mediocrity is not the right word. What does continuing down this path of trash at the bottom of the trash can that won't come off because it's been stuck there for 10 years do for you? I want to know your opinion. Do you think that bringing David Fizdale to this team could improve this team, or do you think that it would just be more of the same? Please comment below. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the page. We do post Chicago sports and talk Chicago sports weekly, and we want to make sure to hear your opinion on the show. I am going to get up out of here. It is your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again. Y'all stay safe out here, man. Peace.